family. It's been a while since I did one of my videos on the holidays versus holy days. I've been having some technical difficulties, but better late than never, I suppose. Today, I would like to share with you some thoughts about some of the holidays that have recently transpired. So, one is called Easter. The other one is called Earth Day. And the other one is called May Day. So 3 holidays in one video. Let's see if I can do this. I have notes just to keep me on track. So first is Easter. And where does that word come from? It comes from a pre-dynastic Egyptian word called Ishtar. Ishtar, if you want to maybe look for images of her on the internet, you'll see that she's covered in eggs. She's the goddess of fertility. So that's where we get the eggs, you know, the Easter eggs. But what about the bunny rabbit? Where does he fit into this story? So the bunny rabbit is basically a metaphorical symbol, if you will, to indicate that we, being at the bottom of the food chain, there are many that predate upon us, and therefore we need to breed like rabbits so we can ensure the survival of the species. Let's see, where do we get the colored Easter eggs from? That's northern Siberia, ancient shamanic tradition, which I believe we may have covered a little of that in one of the previous videos. If not, it'll be coming soon. But basically, it's the mushroom, the red mushroom with the white polka dots. Yeah, that's, we used to have the children go out into the forests and collect these mushrooms, which were underneath a layer of very thick pine needles from the fir trees. And yeah, that's where we get the colored Easter eggs from. But it's not, when we were harvesting the mushrooms, it was a sacred harvest of a sacred plant medicine. Well, actually, he's not really a plant, it's a fungus. But anyway, a sacred medicine, a harvesting of a sacred medicine for a sacred purpose, excuse me. That is, that's the holy, and then the holly is turning it into a competition to rush out and get as many eggs and hunt for them, as many of these eggs, as opposed to having the wisdom to communicate with the spirit of the mushroom to tell me where to harvest you so I may use you for a good purpose. So that's the holy, and then the holly is the competition. This idea of competition versus cooperation. This idea of I have to collect as many eggs as I can in my basket, and that means I have to go fast and take and hunt for these eggs, right? As opposed to, you know, communing and having, receiving from that which you desire, by asking for its permission to harvest it. Then the holly versus the holy. So the holy is that these medicines were going to be used in sacred ceremonies around this time of year, actually, as they were coming out of the winter solstice and going into the spring equinox, and to give them, to give the people some hope and inspiration for the new life that the spring would bring to us when the snow is melted. That's the holy. And then the holly is consumerism and materialism. It's go out into the store and buy this costume because we want you to wear it in the ritual. I'm wearing an Easter costume, but I'm not participating in the ritual. This is like, you could call it a Sunday Easter hat. Anyhow, yes, a lot of commercialism and materialism involved with the shopping for the costumes, the purchasing of the baskets, the buying of all the other Easter paraphernalia, like don't forget about the candy, the sugar, especially how much sugar do our children eat on this one day, on this one holiday called Easter. Our children are consuming more sugar than what they should probably eat in about 2 to 3 years. Honestly, it's a lot. So that's the holy versus holly on Easter. Now, the next one is called World Day or Earth Day or something like that. It's a government issued, whereas Easter's more issued by the church or the Religare. So the government issues a holiday, a world government, because the only thing better than government is world government, right? So world government tells us that it's Earth Day, so we just spread a few memes on the internet, and the actions that we take are not actually for our Mother Earth. I mean, it's sending memes around the internet to say that this is the one day I can honor and respect Mother Earth. No, I should be out there every day picking up trash, speaking to people about how it's important to have a clean environment, because it's not the virus, it's the environment. I have made a mistake, said Louis Pasteur back in the 1800s, I think. Come on. It's the environment that we find ourselves in, and spreading memes around because the world government said it's Earth Day, so share these memes on Facebook. No, that's the holly versus the holy. The holy is, pretty clear, I think, to all of us, the actions that we should be taking, and any rituals or ceremonies that we should be participating in or lending our energies to or consciousness to should be in genuine support and love for our Mother Earth, leaving it in a better place, living on this earth, not for ourselves, but for the 7 future generations. So that's the holly versus holy on on World Earth Day, whatever they call that. And then the last one is May Day. So I can speak from a, say, South American perspective, and perhaps other places in the world, I'm sure. So like the 1st of May is the day that the government gives you permission, the people, to go out into the streets and protest the government. I'm not kidding. So that's the holy is to say, you know what, I'm not personally, and my neighbors and my cosmic family, it's not really serving us this, so the system is not, we just have to work harder and harder and longer, and it's an ever going, never ending cycle of barely keeping your head above water by working your fingers to the bone. because the government takes what you earn by way of taxes, which of course is theft, or it's a slave-master relationship at the very best. So asking the slave master for permission to protest the society which the slave master has created is the holly part, and then the holy part would be to say, you know what, let's detach from this matrix that has us running out to buy flat screen TVs and all other manner of consumer goods. And but I need to pay off the credit card because, you know, the flat screen TV, whatever it costs, I don't know, or whatever gadget or device or thing that is not absolutely essential. Not saying those things aren't nice to have or that it's bad to have them. I'm not saying that. I'm not judging. I can't judge. But I can illustrate that when we go out to get the big McMansion house for our family to live in, and we drive 2 gas-guzzling SUVs to our places of employment every day, when we buy all these things, right, it becomes ever more difficult to live without getting ourselves into debt. And debt is slavery. It's another holly there for you. So the holy, in my opinion, would be to say, I'm going to detach from this system. I'm not going to believe that I can be satiated or believe that I came here to collect things in the material world, but rather I came here for my own spiritual evolutionary learning process. And these things are actually a bit of a hindrance to me, with the television telling me what to think and projecting images into my mind's eye to create a reality that is not of my own intuitive, heart-based imagination. It is not the reality that I desire to leave behind for my children. So let me, turn off the TV, the television programming device, and set down all the other artificial intelligence devices that try to control the narrative, try to control our co-creative manifesting ability, to fashion a reality that we actually don't desire. Talk some more about that in a later video, which deals with the certificate of vaccination ID or COVID. So I'll look forward to, if you're ready to have me share what I see with the COVID stuff. That'll be a later video. So this one I hope you found helpful to explain the difference between, or illustrate again, the difference between that which is a holly day and that which is a holy day, that which is sacred and that which is not so holy, not so sacred. Thank you for listening, family. I love you. Namaste.